ho, what do you know? The Big Daddy G Show, the Big Daddy G Show.
Hi kids, we're down at the state capitol today where there's a big march going against a company named Monsanto. And we're here talking to Richard, and Richard's going to tell us a little bit about how he feels about Monsanto and what Monsanto is doing. Hi Richard, thanks for joining us. So tell me, why are you here for the march?
Well, I'm against the big corporations that like Monsanto, that are altering our food supply around the world, and I feel that they're destroying our environment in respect to doing that.
And what kind of stuff are they doing to our food that you feel is going to cause problems?
Well, they're genetically modifying the seed crop, and it's causing harm to our environment, changing the soil conditions to where we're losing good prairie land, grasslands. Small farmers are being put out of business, and we don't really know what's in our food either. There's no, I think, complete studies of really what GMOs are, how they're affecting people and our wildlife.
And how long have you been aware of this?
I've been aware of it for probably about 5 years.
About 5 years. And how did you hear about Monsanto and what they're up to?
You know, I live in Austin, and I'm pretty a healthy type guy. I eat organic food, and so I read a lot. So.
Okay. All right. And if you could change one thing about Monsanto, what would that be?
We'll get them to label foods that have been genetically modified. That'd be a start, and stop genetically modifying the seeds that they give out around the world.
We're with Kim here. Kim is one of the marchers against Monsanto, and we're here to ask Kim why she's here. So why are you here, Kim?
Basically, I'm just frustrated. I'm fed up with our food system. I'm fed up with this huge global corporation that controls our seeds and won't label our foods. And it's just about time for us to finally stand up and demand that our food at least be labeled.
Labeled with what?
GMOs, genetically modified organisms. So we just want, and a lot of people don't want to eat those type of foods, myself included. So all we're asking for is we just want our foods labeled, so we can know the difference.
Okay. So are they not by law have to label food right now?
No, not right now. No.
Okay.
There's been a lot of different petitions. Bills, I guess you would say, brought into Congress, but they're definitely stamped out by Monsanto and their supporters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you figure out, or when did you find out about Monsanto and what they were doing? How long ago?
It's been about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've definitely been in this a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what else have you done besides marching to maybe block Monsanto?
Oh, I definitely vote with my dollars. I buy all organic.
Awesome.
I eat all organic. I try to share the awareness. I'm that type of person on Facebook that's constantly, posting things about Monsanto and GMOs and the adverse effects, and just trying to bring awareness.
What is do you think is one of the most important posts that you've posted, like maybe on Facebook? Is that what you're talking about? What do you think is one of the most important posts about Monsanto that you have posted in the past? that'll teach people stuff?
Actually, that's a good question. Actually, I just posted something off of March Against Monsanto's website. It was a short, very informative 2-minute video about all you need to know about GMOs.
Awesome.
So it was very short, to the point. Just kind of got the information out.
Awesome. Do you have your own garden?
I have a little window garden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I live in an apartment, so I can't
Yes.
really do too much. But yeah.
Awesome, nice. What else? What can parents do other than just buying organic? What can parents, like adults, do to make Monsanto label foods or make it a law?
I mean, we just have to stand up. We just have to come together.
Okay.
And I mean, other than vote with your dollars, we have to actually get out there and call our congressmen and show up at the at the Capitol and really make a difference and show that we're fed up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm here with Lori, and Lori's here protesting Monsanto, and we're here to find out why she took her time to come down here and make these awesome signs to let people know what Monsanto is up to. So Lori, what brought you down here?
A lot of being in health professions and knowing a lot about chemistry and biochem and knowing how bad these foods are. And we got to get back to organic foods. I got relatives in Switzerland and Germany, and they don't eat this stuff. They banned this in Europe, and we eat this, unfortunately.
Okay.
And there's too much illness in America right now, and we need to stop it and go.
Do you know anybody personally that has had like a tumor or who's gotten cancer and they can't explain why because they weren't smokers or they weren't
Absolutely,
drinkers?
yeah.
You do?
I've had
Okay.
relatives, uncle who
Okay.
yeah, absolutely, very, very healthy person end up with cancer.
Wow.
Blood cancer
Okay.
and leukemia, and I got some going on and autoimmune stuff, and nobody else in my family has it, and other members.
Okay.
A lot, too much autoimmune disease. That's the thing, strange. Too many diseases have gone up really fast. Like they can't prove it, but they say over a 10-year period, autism's gone up 120%.
Wow.
Stuff like that. No one knows why. It's kind of scary. So kids, as I said, kids got to start eating better too.
Okay.
When I was a kid growing up, we ate better. We really did.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
And what do you think Americans can do to stop this company?
Oh, we need to start eating organic and stay away from the bad stuff. It's hard. It's very tempting to eat the bad stuff. It's easy, but to start growing our own food.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
greenhouses maybe.
I like your idea of growing your own food, but here's a problem that majority, 99% of the Americans almost, they can't afford to buy organic.
Yeah.
And I've actually talked to people at the grocery store before, and I'll say, well, you can't afford it now, but you're going to have to afford it later in the hospital, in hospital bills, because your kids are going to get cancer, your kids are going to get diabetes, your kids are going to get all these diseases. So, so the way to stop Monsanto is start growing your own food.
Do what the Europeans did. They were successful. They were successful what they did.
Okay.
What they did was they all started boycotting. They all found out about it and they all believed it, and that did help a lot.
Awesome.
So.
And they're a lot healthier than we are, aren't they?
They probably are.
Yeah.
But I think we need to go. It's going to be hard because we start boycotting. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more, but in time it will turn itself around.
Awesome.
If everyone stops eating it, and maybe we can get together and hate to say communes, but maybe get together and start a couple people put a greenhouse together, neighbors, people getting together and do stuff like that.
We're here with Matthew, and Matthew's here helping. I guess you helped set up this march.
I didn't actually organize it, but
okay.
I kind of filled in for Me and my roommate, we helped lead it because no one else was here.
And where are you from, Matthew?
I'm actually from Houston, but I go to school here at UT.
Okay. And why are you here?
Because I'm really passionate about this issue. I'm a nutrition major at UT.
Awesome.
And so this kind of been like an issue for me for a while, and just like getting back to like organic food and non-GMO food. I just think it's really important.
And what do you do to, or what did you do to better your health? I mean, how did you start eating healthier?
Yeah, I started eating like a lot more like whole foods and a lot more organic, and I cut out all the GMOs and mostly organic. I just really noticed a huge difference in my health just eating food in its more natural state.
Now, do you grow any of your own food?
I do not, because
Okay.
I'm in college, so I move
Okay.
pretty frequently.
But when you get your own place, like say you buy a house or something,
Yeah.
would you grow your own garden in your backyard, your front yard?
Yeah, definitely. One of my goals is to eventually grow like a large chunk of my food that I eat
Okay.
later in life.
Hi, and what's your name?
Jane Brugan.
Jane Brugan, nice to meet you.
Brugan.
And today we're at the Monsanto protest
Yes.
and march.
Yes.
And why are you here?
Oh, because I think it's very, very important for the entire world, not just us, but for the entire world to understand the implications of Monsanto and many other chemical companies in regards to how our food has been poisoned, in regards to how our agriculture has been paralyzed, but most importantly, how the entire world has been affected by their practices over the years that they have continually just gotten away with because of our government officials have unfortunately, I hesitate to say, ignored the problems associated with their disregard for human health.
And do you think they just disregarded it, or do you think there's something else going on?
I think there are many motives for big business, for agribusiness all over the world. Initially, Monsanto was one of the seven companies that formed, that produced and got the government contract for Agent Orange. They won the contract because their product was stronger than anybody else's. And not only does Agent Orange have glyphosate in it, but it also had dioxin.
Okay.
And right now, if you look at Vietnam, the number of people with birth defects and continued health effects, and our own Vietnam veterans, goes on and on and on. And so then what happened is that while Monsanto was getting rich, their chemical weapons, Agent Orange, were 30,000 times stronger than Roundup, were recycled for agriculture.
Right.
Then Monsanto decides to make the GMO Roundup Ready seed. And now they in the name of stamping out world hunger, which actually they did make an impact in some of the third world countries. They made a huge impact with hunger by making good crops.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, pardon?
At what cost was it to feed world hunger? What cost was it to doing that?
Well, of course, there was famine, in the third world countries, in the 80s. But, then Navdanya Institute was formed by Vandana Shiva in India in the 1981, I believe, or 80s, just for the very reason that everybody began to see that what seemed to be a good thing to stamp out famine all of a sudden was choking the farmers in India. Now, the farmers in India couldn't afford to buy this expensive seed. They couldn't afford to buy the inputs for the seed, for the crops. They couldn't afford, and then all of a sudden we have poor farmers who have lost their farms. And now we have a monoculture crops in India and in Africa, other third world areas, South America. And now they grow, corn, soybeans, and wheat instead of all of their pulses that they normally grow. The most important thing is that Monsanto patented the seed. Now everybody who uses their seed is at risk for breaking the law. And guess what they did? And that's why today there are farmers in South Africa, Southern Africa, in jail and who have lost their farms. There are farmers in India who have many farmers in India who have lost their farms and have been, and legal regress has been brought against those farmers. And then now today, people are saying, why in the world can anybody on Earth patent any form of life?
Right.
Who said that could happen?
Right.
And so my thing is no GMO. Why in the world? And we need to reverse all the patents.
Right.
We need to turn them around.
Right.
And that's what Vandana Shiva is saying as well.
Right.
And so, in the meantime, the World Health Organization comes along and says, guess what, people? Glyphosate causes cancer.
Right.
And now 40 countries in the world have banned Roundup use in their country. And why? And of course they would.
Right.
Who wants to have a chemical on our food crops that causes cancer?
Right.
Now, there's going to be a world tribunal. And the woman who headed this up, Vandana Shiva, is also the main person associated with the Hog Tribunal.
Okay.
Because now all the continents in the world are coming together, and finally they are saying our governments cannot control big agribusiness. Big
Right.
agribusiness is way too big.
Right.
Monsanto is way too big.
Right.
The biggest investor in Monsanto is Bill Gates. Now, what rich person on this earth can we trust?
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Obviously he started with good intentions.
Right.
But now, nobody, and if you ask anybody here who has investments,
Yeah.
nobody can tell you if they are actually invested in Monsanto.
Right.
It's so confusing.
Right.
So there's no way the government, our government, anybody's government who has tried,
Yeah.
can turn this around.
Right. Awesome.
Marie Monique Robin is an
Right.
investigative reporter from France.
Okay.
She's written 2 books. One, The World According to Monsanto. The second, in 2014, Our Daily Poison.
Okay.
Our Daily Poison is a book that everybody on this earth should read,
Right.
because she really brings out the crux of the problem.
Right.
Who decided that you could have an acceptable daily intake of certain kinds of poisons?
Right.
And that is why Monsanto thinks that they have a license.
Right.
The EPA has given them a license to not only make GMO seeds,
Yeah.
but also to put an undetermined amount of poison in our food.
Right.
There is not, I can guarantee if we did a blood test on you, I don't care how much organic food
Right.
you've eaten,
Right.
you will have a level of dioxin
Right.
in your blood.
Right.
And so there are all of the major studies that have been
Right.
done on cancer, on chemical poisoning, neurotoxicity, have been done by major, like Monsanto, major agribusiness companies.
Well, do you know that now they have just started selling GMO fish?
Oh, yes.
And by law, Monsanto does not have to label that it's genetically modified.
Right.
Did you hear about that?
I don't know the details on that,
Okay.
but I've heard about the fish. Yes,
I
yes.
just read about it today.
And
So
that is very frightening to
It's
me.
very, yeah.
Because, most of us who try to eat organic. I grow my own food. I don't trust any food. People think I'm a little eccentric, I am. But I don't. I know that any food I buy in the grocery store today has chemicals in it, even if it says organic.
Yep.
Two baby food manufacturers. Just recently, a study was done testing baby food, and two baby food manufacturers who labeled their baby food organic
Right.
were not found to be organic.
Yep.
And so when you start talking about fish,
Yeah.
I mean, something we thought might be something I could eat.
Right.
And now
Now,
I
no.
find out, oh my gosh, I can't even trust the fish.
Exactly. So Josephine, why are you here, and why are you marching against Monsanto?
Well, because I feel like everyone has a right. Everyone deserves to eat healthy. They deserve to know what's in their food, what they're eating. And I mean, if everyone had a choice to eat organic, I'm sure they would. But since it's so expensive and we're not home growing locally, we really don't have a choice. So out here, I want to show my kids that what the cause is, what we're eating, and try to help our community grow locally. Like my daughter's shirt says, locally grown.
Locally grown.
Here in Texas.
Well, I love your passion against Monsanto and what they're doing. Do you know anybody personally that has gotten sick?
Yes,
that
I
has
do.
maybe gotten a tumor, that's a weird type thing, you know?
I mean, my mother-in-law, their father's mother passed away back in 2012. She had gotten cancer, and it was just ferocious. And I felt like a part of me wants to say that the government is murderers. They murdered her because, she had very little money. She was working 2 jobs, and she, didn't have a lot to go off of, but ramen noodles, and I feel in a way that if, not just this, but even how they said, I don't want to say the medical marijuana cures cancer.
Right.
A lot of natural things tying into the fact that GMOs is preservatives they put in the food and stuff like that. I mean, mass production is another thing. But if they cared about every individual and really wanted to stop cancer, they really could. They really could. And that's why I'm passionate about trying to change things, trying for my kids. I don't feed them McDonald's every day. I don't feed them McDonald's at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
And even though I have little money, I buy the bag of beans and I cook them. I buy the bags of rice and I cook them. I try to promote that in my children because they are our legacy.
Right.
They're going to change the world,
Well, however you teach them to eat is how they're going to eat.
Exactly.
However you teach them to exercise or not exercise, that's how they're going to grow up.
Exactly.
So, it's the old saying, monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
If you teach them to do right, they're going to do right. If you teach them to do wrong, they're going to do wrong.
Right.
So I think it's awesome. I love your passion.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming out here. This is the Big Daddy G, and this is
Josephine Guerra from
Hi.
Austin, Texas, born and raised, homegrown, baby.
Hi kids, we're here at the state capitol, and there's a March Against Monsanto today, and we're going to interview Raymond. Raymond is a little guy that made a sign, and he's here to tell us what he thinks about GMOs. So tell me, why are you here, Raymond?
So, because of genetic modified organisms that poison us and makes people get mutated. And we're here to put these signs out to tell people that GMO is bad and it poisons us, and we want real food and not GMO, which makes us sick.
What would you say to the people that work for Monsanto that are poisoning people? What would you say to them?
To make us eat real food and try not to poison us.
Okay. Because do you think poisoning kids, do you think that's the right thing to do?
No.
Okay.
the wrong thing to do.
Okay.
Hey kid, what's up? Do you hate having to eat those healthy vegetables? Is nutrition getting you down? Well, cheer up! Help's on the way. Say hello to GMO, genetically modified organisms. You can eat them all day. Not only will mealtimes be extra delicious, they'll also contain oodles of insect genes and fish genes. Just think of all that extra yummy goodness.
So Cole, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
If someone was to put poison in your food, would you like that?
No,
Why wouldn't you like poison in your food?
it's poison. I don't want to get sick from eating food.
What if I told you that there's a company called Monsanto that's putting poison in your food?
I wouldn't like the company and I wouldn't like that.
So if somebody told you, hey Cole, here's an apple, it's got poison in it, would you eat it?
Well, not if they told me it had poison in it, no.
Yeah. But what if they didn't tell you?
I might eat it, I might not, depending on who the person was, but probably not.
What if it was the President of the United States that told you, oh, it's okay for you to eat this apple that has poison in it, but my kids won't eat it, but it's okay for you to eat it?
I probably wouldn't eat it.
Why wouldn't you eat it?
Well, if he says it has poison in it, then I wouldn't eat it.
But what if he says it's got poison in it, but it's okay, it's good for you?
Well, if it has poison in it, it's probably not good for me. Mr. Grant, my name is Cole Allen, and I would like you to please, please, please stop poisoning these foods because it's not okay if you're just making people sick just for money. 'Cause you say it's safe and it only kills bugs, but it's not. You're killing people too. So please stop. It's not okay.
Hi-ho, what do you know? The Big Daddy G Show. The Big Daddy G Show.
Can we all just get up on the Big Daddy G Show? Yeah, man.
Why clean your room when you can do some shrooms? The Big Daddy G Show. Hi-ho, what do you know? The Big Daddy G Show. The Big Daddy G Show.